Press Alt F, Alt F. PRS enabled, PRS enabled. We can use a bit more apex curve turn 4 to keep your head down.
Okay, so we'll cool the car, go to the grid.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to High Point Racing Tier 1 Round 9. Tonight they will be taking on the 4.381 kilometer 14 corner and 2 DRS zone circuit in Hungary. I am the Johnny Damon tonight. I am your commentator, just loading in for the time being, waiting to find out what the weather will be here for qualifying. However, we do have a little bit of a point update since I haven't been able to update over the course of the last few weeks. We got Satsi still leading points with 161 points. Shankadelic in second with 121. Echo Otts in third with 94. Fourth place is Big Manry with 91. Castana with 71 in fifth. Prime with 63 and 6th, Deco in 7th with 44 points, Master OG with 37 and 8th, LNJ in 9th with 26 points, Raptor KK 23 points in 10th. That Asian kid has 22 points in 11th, like me or not, with 21 in 12th. Silos with 17 points in 13th, Captain Clapjack with 12 points in 14th, Bonget with 12 points in 15th, McLaren with 8 points, Anime with 8 points in 16th, SP 17th with 6 points, LB with 6 points in 18th, 19th is Shiesty with 5 points, and Mike Gaudio has 4 points, rounding out the grid in 20th. Let's jump on board here with whoever this is out front, and that is going to be a Visa Cash App Red Bull. Here we go, as we're making our way through turn 10 into a lessee corner of turn 11, and so in regards into the constructors standings, we have an update. Mercedes at the top with 234, Red Bull in second with 135, Sauber in third with 124, Ferrari fourth with 112, Williams in fifth with 107, McLaren sixth with 41, Aston Martin with 28 and seventh, Alpine eighth with 24 points, Haas in ninth with 16, and the Racing Bulls with 9 points in 10th. On board with LB to go as he is making his way into turn 3 through the second DRS zone. We do have a dry track here in qualifying, so DRS will be activated as we are making our way up the hill into turn 4 through sector 1, 27.4. Now in through turn 5, heading into the braking zone of the chicane right in front of him. Really nice through the chicane, keeps that car off the curbs, maintaining the momentum now through sector 2. He does get a little loose there in turn 9, now making his way through lessee corner of 11, down the hill 54.5 through 2 sectors. Into turn 12, he's got the penultimate corner right in front of him, all the way down to 3rd gear. Off the exit, heading into the final corner of turn 14. He's got the DRS zone right in front of him off the exit and the line. And he's going to come down and set a provisional pole with a 1:16.507. Captain Clapjack making his way through sector 3 into the final corner. He goes. Now going to be coming across the line. And he's going to go provisionally pole with a 1:15.7. And not sure who's next coming to the line here. It looks like Raptor. He does have a Racing Bull of our Manson Sim right in front of him off the exit of the penultimate corner. Into turn 14 we go. He's got 100 meters. Opens up that DRS off the exit to the line. And he comes across with a 1:17.5. So down in that P4 position. Looks like Bonget does invalidate Manry to the top of the board. A 1:14.2. Now on board with Mike Gaudio making his way down into turn 12. and he is keeping it under control. Into the penultimate corner we go. Off the exit, now he's got the final corner of turn 14, and he's gonna see if he can carry his momentum to the start finish line. Comes across, and he is up into that P4 position. So he did struggle there on that lap, like me or not, making his way through sector 1, up the hill, cross splits 27.4, now through into turn 5, and the Ferrari's looking really nice here, off the exit of 5 into the braking zone of the chicane of 6 and 7, he's got 8. Another chicane here, a little bit quicker through 8 and 9 versus 6 and 7. Now he's heading towards turn 10. Alisi corner right in front of him, off the exit of 11 down the hill and heading into turn 12 all the way down into third gear, 73 miles per hour at the apex. And now into the penultimate corner we go. We got one more corner, and is he going to be able to jump himself up into the top 3 here in qualifying? Off the exit, burning the rest of the battery, and he comes across in that P7 position with a 117.3. Bonget currently making his way through sector 3 now into the final corner on a set of medium tires here as he makes his way off, opens up the DRS thirst, and he comes across with a 119.1. Got to keep in mind though, he had a set of medium tires on. Asian kid making his way through sector 3, not on a lap though, as Master OG's making his way off the exit of turn 14, coming across the line, and Prime has joined, but unfortunately retired from the session. Not exactly what happened, sure what happened, but Master OG up into that P2 position with a 114.6, nearly 4/10 off the back of Manry. Castana struggling there off the exit of turn 5, heading into turn 6, and really using a lot of the sausage curb. That is going to compromise his time big here as he's making his way through sector 2. He is definitely struggling, but he's not really burning the ERS. He is on medium ERS, so I wonder if he is potentially looking at a double outlap to start. He's now going to work his way into the penultimate corner. He's got one more corner to go. He's getting ready to start his flying lap here as he's making his way off the exit of turn 14. Opens up the DRS across the start finish line and down in towards turn 1 we go. Gonna brake at about 100 meters all the way down in the 4th gear, back on the throttle. Opens up that DRS flap heading in towards turn 3. Now he's going to make his way, and he gets really loose off the exit of turn 3. That's going to cost him his qualifying lap. He is going to back out of it and choose to go for another one at another period of time. In the meantime, Master OG starting another lap here. Crossed the line, burning the ERS as he's making his way down this long start-finish straight, 197 miles an hour, all the way down into turn 1. Off the exit, opens up the DRS flap, up through the gears, burns a little bit more ERS as he's making his way down into turn 3. Off the exit of 3 now through 4 up the hill. Or sorry, that might have been 3. Now into turn 4 we go. Nearly a 10th up on the time into turn 5. And he's off the exit of 5 into the chicane all the way down in the 3rd gear. He uses a lot of the sausage curb on the entrance of turn 6, but he manages to keep that car under control. Is he maintaining the momentum through sector 2? We were up a 10th through sector 1. And he's 2/10 through sector 2 all the way down into turn 12. Off the exit, heading into the penultimate corner we go. I'll get you in just a second, Prime. Into turn 14, and he dives into pit lane. Something must have not have made him happy there on that final lap that he had to dive into pit lane. Where is your Prime? So that will be the end of his qualifying there. And it looks like Manry's going to dive into pit lane. So the top 5 all in pit lane. Gaudio making his way through sector 1. Manson Sim on a lap, it looked like, as he's working his way into turn 11 through sector 2. He's a half a second up on his time. A half a second would launch him up aboard into that P5 position. So it's looking pretty promising here for Manson Sim here. He is going to be looking to jump his teammate. Sotsy, in the meantime, goes into that P3 position with a 15.4. But here comes Manson Sim across with a 16.3. Gains a half a second on his lap there. Sotsy is not on a lap. Did not know if he potentially did a double out lap. Raptor making his way through sector 2, not on a lap. Anime Boy off the exit of turn 5 appears to be on a lap. He was actually saying he's nearly a second up on his time through sector 1. So let's see what it says here in sector 2. Still on a set of medium tires. Yeah, he's a full second up on his time. That would put him into the 17 range, 17.1 range. Would launch him up into that P9 position. As he's making his way through the penultimate corner into the final corner we go. 76% battery left off the exit. Not really burning much, but he is going to come across the line into that P9 position with a 16.794. So a nice lap from Anime Boy. Gaudio nearly a second up on his time, looking to get down into the 15 range. As the Haas is making his way through the penultimate corner and off the exit into the final corner of turn 14. Start-finish line right in front of him. Opens up that DRS to the line, and he launches himself up into the 115 range on the second row. Right in front of Saucy, who is in that P4 position. Saucy is making his way through sector 1 right now. What is he looking at? He's nearly a 10th up on the time. Not enough to jump Mike Gaudio. We will keep on track. Deco just starting his lap. LB the GOAT currently working his way through turn 1, burning down into turn 1, or turn 2. Anime Boy not on a lap. Bongit not on a lap. Like me or not on a lap, but up back into P4 of Sotsy as he's making his way off 11. Still a 10th up on his time. He needs to find the time here in sector 3 off the exit of the penultimate corner. He gets a little bit of a snap there, and he is going to dive into pit lane. Not very happy with his qualifying session. Gonna have about 5 minutes to go when he gets back rolling. Master OG appears to have some traffic in front of him. Is this gonna hinder him here? He had a purple sector 2 going into the penultimate corner, and Master OG is gonna back out. The McLaren is definitely not happy with that qualifying there. He had a purple sector 2, and it goes into pit lane. Manry, in the meantime, making his way through turn 13, heading into the final corner, and he's gonna make his way off the exit, opens up the DRS lap, and comes across the line to a 114 flat, improves nearly 0.2 of a second on his time there. Deco making his way through turn 2, currently not on a lap. LB the GOAT is not. Let's see, nobody seems to be on a lap for the time being. Except for Like Me or Not, as he's making his run down into turn 2. All the way down into third gear. Off the exit, shifts the car right through that fast right-hander, flat out, up the hill into turn 4. And he's nearly 0.4 of a second up on his time. That's good enough to launch him into that P12 position. Needs some more time if he wants to get further up the qualifying leaderboard here, as he's making his way through the chicane of turn 6 and 7, now through 8 and 9. heading into turn 10, flat out into turn, nearly flat out in through turn 11, 8/10 up on the time. He's good enough to get himself all the way up into P10, so he is looking to launch himself up into that top 10. Off the the penultimate corner we go, heading into turn 14. Gonna open up the DRS flap, heading towards the start-finish line, which may be the potentially last run of his qualifying session, and he gets himself into that P9 position. So at the time being, we see a lot of folks coming back out onto track with 3 minutes to go here left of the qualifying session. Everybody is going to be coming out to make sure they get their cars in prime position for their final quali lap, as Master OG, I believe, is the front runner of all of those individuals. Deco making his way through Sector 2 now. He did not improve through Sector 1. Captain Clapjack heading to pit lane. I'm not exactly sure if he's going to have enough time to get in, put on a new set, and get back out. Deco unfortunately invalidated. Captain Clapjack getting ready to start his final flying run. 2 minutes left of the qualifying session. Burning that ERS all the way down into the 100-meter board. Up turn 1 into second gear, a little bit on the curb onto the inside, but he is making his way down into turn 2. Now working his way through turn 3, up the hill, 200ths of a second up on his time through turn 4. Now 5. Is he going to be able to find some time? He really wants to improve, see if he can qualify inside the top 5 here at the Hungary ring. Making his way through turn 9 now. He's got turn 10 right in front of him. Then the fast right-hander here. Is he going to lift? No, he holds it flat to the floor. Down 3/10 up on his time here. In through turn 12, now into the penultimate corner of turn 13. Is he going to get himself up into that second row and potentially jump Softy here as he's making his way off the exit of the final corner? Going to open up the DRS flap to the start-finish line, and he's into row 3. He was only able to jump up into P5, just barely missing out on Softy up at the front. Let's see who is making their way to the line, likely or not, dives into pit lane. Who is Castana? Still hasn't gotten a lap down here of qualifying. Master OG's making his way. Softy still hasn't started a lap here in the final session, or the final last run of qualifying. Master OG's actually getting ready to start his final run. He's got the Aston Martin right behind him. It's the McLaren. Anime Boy does just get across the line here with 5 seconds to go of the qualifying session. So now we got a run here for all the remaining drivers. Manry through Sector 1, nearly a 10th up on his time. Now through Sector 2, he's 2/10 up on his time. A big mistake from Captain Clapjack through Sector 2. Off the exit of the final corner we go with Manry. He's going to come to the start-finish line. Does he improve on his time? And he gets himself into that 13 range with a 1:13.7. So a nice lap there. And Master OG has spun out, so he's not going to be able to contend for pole. Castana, it does not look like he is going to be able to contend for pole, potentially. But Softy's working his way around the final corner. Is he going to be able to compete for pole position? And he does not. He only good enough for that P2 position. Nearly 8/10 off the back of Manry. Just barely beat Master OG by less than a 10th. Raptor dives into pit lane, not able to complete qualifying. Anime Boy is going to go in, and Bong It will follow as well. Alright, so we'll be just a moment here as we are currently waiting for everybody to get their tire strategy and fuel into place. Then we will get rolling for, I believe, a 35 laps around the Hungary ring. So just give me a few moments and I'll be right back. There's 4 or 5 red lights, and the lights are out, and away we go. We're going to jump on board. It looked like Saucy had a decent jump, but here comes Master OG, looking to potentially go down the inside. Saucy down the inside. Up Manry's going to take over the lead. Master OG around the outside, and he's up into that P2 position. And now we're going to ride on board as Captain Clapjack and Kasana are both battling for position. But it looks like Master OG made quick work of Saucy there through turn 3, up the hill, in through 4. And now we're going to make our way through turn 5. Let's pull up the tires here. Everybody on mediums all the way down into that P10 position. A yellow flag in the back there. Looks like that is going to be Manson Sim. I'll be the goat through the inside into turn 6, and he's going to jump up into that P8 position. Like me or not, moving up on the hard tires in 12th. Who is that Asian kid down to the inside wall? Off the exit of 9, he's going to have no front end plate there. Manson Sim does work his way into that P14 position. As we are making our way across the line to complete lap 1, Master OG looking to open up a 1 second gap here, and he's trying to do it quickly. Manry is putting the pressure on Softy though. As we're heading down into turn 1, he is burning the ERS squeeze really tight to the inside. He is going to lock up, goes a little deep. However, both cars are able to keep him on the track, and they're heading down into turn 2. Some very tight racing here, only on lap 2 between your front runners. Manry sitting in that P2 position. Thotsy now dropped to 3rd. Mike Gaudio and Captain Clapjack, they just moved up to Tier 1 last week at Silverstone, and both of them are running inside the top 5. Castano, the other Mercedes, is sitting there in P6. They are leading the constructors standings at the time being. You got Deco in the Williams in P7, been pretty consistent driver all season. LB the GOAT is starting to come to life as of recent from other league racing, sitting in P8. Raptor in that P9 position of the Aston Martin. Anime Boy out here in the McLaren. His teammate currently leading on lap 3, comes across with the fastest lap. Bonnet makes his way by Like Me or Not. It appears Like Me or Not made a mistake. Manson Sim in 14th and Asian Kid in 15th. Master OG currently a half a second ahead of Manor here in P2. As we're now making our way through Sector 2 of turns 8 and 9. Softy here trying to hold off the Haas behind him of Mike Gaudio. You can call him a rookie. I wouldn't necessarily, I mean, yeah, we can call him a rookie. We'll also give him rookie status next season as well. Same with Captain Clapjack here in Tier 1. Some folks that moved up from the Tier 2 and decided to come race here in Tier 1. Great result for Captain Clapjack last week. I believe P4 finished for him. Mike Gaudio unfortunately finished lower in the grid, as it appears Manry has taken the lead here on lap 4. Thotsy is able to defend off Mike Gaudio. Now Gaudio is looking to defend off the charging Red Bull behind him. We do have the Haas and the Red Bull in a Mercedes sandwich here as we're making our way up through the Sector 1 split into Sector 2. Not really much space between the Red Bull and the Haas, but here through turn 5 you can tell that the Haas has a little bit more downforce. Thotsy there struggling through turn 6, went completely over the sausage curve, went for a little bit of a bunny hop ride. Master OG and Thotsy making their way down into turn 12. Is Gaudio going to get a run? No, Castano was potentially peeking down to the inside of the Red Bull. He did not get a run. In the meantime, off the exit of turn 14 to go. And is Master OG going to get the DRS? Indeed he does, but not close enough to make that move down into turn 1. And you see a train right behind him, all just flying here down the straight, trying to break the toe from left to right, back to the left, and heading off the exit of turn 1, down the hill into turn 2. Captain Clapjack is still putting that pressure on the Haas in front of him, 2/10 off the back, and they're making their way through 3. Is he going to get a little bit more top speed here as we're making our way up into turn 4? Indeed we do, but he is going to wisely choose to back out and continue to follow behind here on lap 5. Since we have started to settle in, let's check our biggest movers. Master up 1. Captain Clapjack up 1. Yo Prime up 5. Bong it up 3. And Asian Kid unfortunately down 5 positions since the start of the Grand Prix. But we do have this 5-car battle going on here. As long as Deco can get to the back of the train here as we're making our way through the penultimate corner. Master OG is going to be a little bit closer this time through turn 14. And it looks like Manry is going to try and conserve some ERS there as we saw his rear diffuser blinking down the start-finish straight. Captain Clapjack looking down the inside of the Red Bull. He's not going to make a move into turn 1. They need to find a way to get by this Mercedes here. They want the start to improve. And it looks like Master OG makes a huge mistake. And he's going to lose both end plates off the exit of turn 2 to the inside while he goes. And that's going to put Manry 4.3 seconds all by himself up front. Gaudio here now putting the pressure on to Saucy. Just got a 3-second penalty. And for track limit, so now he's going to have to find a way to extend a gap here. If he can get his way by the Mercedes seems to be holding him up a lot, especially through sector 2. As Saucy goes a little wide there off of turn 11. And it looks like a mistake from Bong through turn 9. He is going to be able to get that car back under control. Is Mike close enough to make a move on the Mercedes in front? He got a great run off the exit of turn 14. Through the inside he goes with the DRS. It is a double DRS zone. Captain Clapjack attempting a move around the outside. He is forced off the track from Saucy. A little bit of a late move. Not far enough alongside to claim any track space there on the exit by the Red Bull. So the Mercedes closed the door on him there. And now the Red Bull is in a Mercedes sandwich between Saucy and Castana. Master OG still missing both end plates on the front wing. Trying to hang on with these medium tires. Probably could go in for the higher tires and see if he can get them to last here. But be cutting it close. Looking probably around lap 10 at this point. Through sector 2, and it looks like Mike here in that P2 position really lost some pace to Big Manry there through sector 2. So we're down to 6.3 seconds here as we're making our way through the penultimate corner on lap 7, heading through turn 14. Saucy is close enough. He is going to have the DRS, but he's got a chasing Red Bull right behind him. They're pulling right up to the back of the Haas, down to the inside. And Saucy's going to overtake Mike Gaudio, but Mike wants to fight around the outside. Is Mike going to be able to keep it down to the inside into turn 2? No, he's going to slot right back behind. He does give the Mercedes a little bit of a bump. So let's go. Get moving, get moving. As we're now making our way up the hill into turn 4 we go. And now 5. The other Mercedes is caught right up to that rear diffuser of Captain Clapjack. In light of all this battling and Master OG not really having much of a front wing and just taking out signs, he's only 1.3 seconds off the back, so he's really not that far back in that P6 position, so he still has plenty of time to be able to recover. Mike Gaudio all over that rear diffuser of the Mercedes. And Mike gonna dive into pit lane on lap 9 here. Not exactly sure what he's planning. Maybe a very strong undercut. Castana here is gonna stay out. Captain Clapjack and Satsi. And it looks like Castana potentially making a move down the inside of the Red Bull. Contact made and the Red Bull's sideways. And I'm not exactly sure if Castana was far enough alongside to claim any space there as the Red Bull got turned around. That will be heading to the stewards room post Grand Prix, and we will just have to see what the stewards say about that one. As now we got another 5-6-car DRS train here. You still have your 2 Mercedes in front. As we're now making our way through turn 8 into turn 9. And Master OG hanging on pretty tight here, 1.6 seconds back. Castano's trying to get back within DRS of his teammate as he's making his way down into turn 12. Now through the penultimate corner, the Mercedes are going to be working together here. Both of them choose to stay out. Big Man chose to stay out as well. Master stays out. The Williams of Deco, LB the GOAT, Captain, Raptor, Prime are all choosing to stay out as well. Castana overtakes his teammate down into turn 1. Not exactly sure what that is about. Maybe just trying to use some toe here to open up a gap. Captain Clapjack loses out to a position to Raptor as they don't have the DRS to LB the GOAT in front. As now they're making their way through turn 3, up the hill toward turn 4. Saucy here falling nearly a second off the back of Manry, or off the back of Castana. Wondering if his tires have really shot at this point in the Grand Prix here on lap 10. As he's really struggling to actually keep up with his teammate Castana. Castana is absolutely flying here. Gaining time on Mannery was gained all the way down to 9.3. Now he's back to 9.8. So, not exactly sure what happened there. Master OG 2 seconds back. He is going to dive into pit lane here on lap 11. So we are going to start to see the pit stops roll. Captain Clapjack's also going to jump into pit lane as well. Prime will follow along. And looks like Satsi and Castana are really going to be battling here. Castana is going to continue to hang on to that P1 position from his teammate. I don't know if there's any real team strategy going on, but Deco is in a battle with LB the GOAT. Let's see, Captain Clapjack does come out in front of Master OG as Master had to replace the front wing. Anime Boy right behind him is going to be able to hold up Yo Prime a little bit. And I believe Anime has pitted, if I'm correct. Let's see. Yes, he has. Tires, he's on 6-lap old hard, so that's going to be cutting it close for him. But off the exit of turn 14, Manny chooses to stay out once again to begin lap 12. The Mercedes team is also staying out. Saucy dives into pit lane, looking for a potential undercut on his teammate here in that P5 position. Deco is going to jump up into third, defending off LB the GOAT into turn 1. And it looks like Deco is going to be able to hang on for the time being. But LB going to make a move into turn 2. No, he's not. Mike is going to be able to overtake Satsi. And he overtakes him by a long shot. Big undercut here by Mike Gaudio. Satsi does come out. And who was that was struggling? That was Asian Kid struggling off the exit of turn 1. So that allows Manson Sim to get through. Captain Clapjack all the way down to MP11. is looking to make a move on the Asian Kid up the hill into turn 4. And he's not going to be able to get alongside. Continue to follow along. Is he going to look around the outside, through the inside, a little bit of a switchback into the braking zone of turn 6. What a move by the Red Bull of Captain Clapjack. He's on a serious charge. Master OG's going to get by as well. And here comes Prime Asian Kid. Looks like his car is starting to falter here on lap 13. And he falls all the way down into that P14 position. Captain Clapjack here still has the DRS to Manson Sim. And LB the GOAT is going to get by Deco here off the exit of turn 1. And is LB going to be able to continue to hang on to P3? Yes, he does, down into turn 2. Raptor here, 1.2 seconds off the back of that fight. Captain Clapjack making quick work of our Manson Sim as well through turn 1. And he is on the charge. He's looking to catch up to the back of Softy as soon as possible. 4 seconds back, he's now 3.8. Master OG looking for a switchback on our Manson. And it gets really loose there off the exit of turn 3. What an action there that we caught from Master OG, really fighting the car. Is he going to be looking to make a move into turn 6? No, Manson Sim's going to fight him off here through turn 6. Now, we're carrying through turn 8. Manry chooses to stay out once again here up in the front. Castana 13 or 12 seconds back stays out as well. D-Master looking down the inside of Manson through turn 12. And here comes Prime as well around the outside of 13. Not much of a switchback opportunity there off the exit. But we are going to jump back up here towards the front as Mike Gaudio gets by Like Me or Not here. In pace for provisional P2 just about. Or net P2. Like Me or Not is down in 3rd. Foxy in 8th. My apologies. Captain Clapjack fighting with Master OG, who did pick up a 3-second time penalty. Question is, when does Manry decide to pit? He stays out once again here across the start-finish line. He is on lap 15, 12.8 seconds out in front of Castana here in P2. LB the GOAT here in 3rd, Deco in 4th. Question for Manry here. Is he losing too much time to Mike? Mike is about, I don't know, what's that, 12, another second and a half, so about 13 and a half, 25 and a half seconds. I think it's like 26 seconds here at Hungary for pit lane time lost under green flag conditions here. Master OG and contact between him and Clapjack through turn 2. Not exactly sure what's happened there. That is the second time Clapjack has gone around in this Grand Prix. He fought his way back up. Now he's got to get those tires cold. And what happened to Master OG? He makes a mistake. And he drops back down into P12. And he struggles into the braking zone of turn 7, loses a lot of time to Captain Clapjack in front of him. And he really struggled off the exit. He must not know. And Master OG goes around and loses an end plate. Not exactly sure what's going on with that McLaren. It's really not liking the Hungaroring. Oh no. A good, decent race for Master. Went to a horrible Grand Prix. Mike Gaudio into P2. Saucy's gonna overtake him through the inside. Mike is looking for a switchback off the exit, and he's not gonna get it. 27 seconds back from your leader of Manry. I can't even believe Softy actually caught him. I didn't think this was gonna happen so quickly. But Softy caught Mike Gaudio, and we're now making our way up into turn 4. The question is, did Manry put out a big enough gap and he wants to stay out one more lap? No, he actually got in the pit lane. The Manry in pit lane. Oh, beyond the brake. Did not get that penalty. Where is he going to come out? On board with Sopsy. He gained over a second on Mike here in P3. Manry's already slapped on the hard tire compound off the exit of turn 14. Manry's coming out of pit lane. Softy's coming across the start finish line. And it looks like Manry is going to come out well ahead of Softy here. Nearly 5 seconds ahead here as he's making his way off the exit of turn 1. Master OG once again struggling. He's cutting some grass, giving a little bit of a mowing. I think the lawn guy missed his spot, so Master got sick of looking at it and needed to kind of trim it up a little bit. Saucy here in P2. Still actually opening up a big gap here on Mike Gaudio. Let's see, any close battles on track? Prime and Captain Clapjack through turn 6 and 7 here in sector 2. In the meantime, we gotta give it to Big Manry tonight. Absolute domination. Put everybody on a terror tonight here around the Hungary ring. So far, 6.3 seconds out front of Softy. Also, I believe has led every lap. Except for maybe like 1 or 2 in the battle with Master OG. Master OG unfortunately has retired from pit lane, started up in the front and dropped unfortunately to 15th place tonight. Mike Gaudio really losing the pace to Softy in front. The Castana Mercedes had so many double podiums this season. They're looking for another one here tonight. Castano's nearly 3 seconds off the back of Mike, so he is continuously working to try and close that gap even more. Even though Mike does have a 3-second time penalty, I'm sure Castano wants to win it on circuit. Prime, like me or not, and Captain Clapjack all sitting within DRS of each other here as they're making their way through the chicane of Sector 2. And now through the second chicane here of Sector 2 into the fast left-hander. And now the flat-out right-hander here as Prime is all over that rear diffuser of Like Me or Not as they carry their speed all the way down into turn 12. Manry with another fastest lap of a 1:16.5. Prime is looking to go maybe around the outside of turn 14, but guess who that allows to come through? Captain Clapjack waited for the mistake. Now we're nearly 3 abreast down into turn 1. Prime side by side with Captain Clapjack. Both of them got DRS. They're going to carry as much speed as they can into turn 2. Who's going to hang on to that P5 position here? And it is going to be the Red Bull of Captain Clapjack. And Mike with another 3-second time penalty. That's going to give him 6 seconds on the day. And now you got Prime, who was not able to gain any positions out of that fight. And Like Me or Not, lost 2. But Prime goes for a daring move down the inside of turn 6. And he regains that P5 position now. And it looks like Bonget might have made a mistake. Yes, he did. Bonget currently battling an illness tonight. But kudos to him for coming out and showing that he's going to fight through it no matter what and try and collect any potential point. And likely or not, dives in the pit lane to get off of those hard tires here. So that's allowing everybody to get through in 11th on lap 20. Captain Clapjack goes side by side with Prime once again here through turn 1 down into turn 2. And it looks like the Red Bull's going to come out on top versus the Williams this time. And now the question is the Williams going to be looking to make a move into turn 6 like he did on the previous lap? Castana has caught up to the back of Mike Gaudio, making our way through turn 5 now into the chicane, and Prime was not close enough to make that daring move on the Red Bull that he did on the previous lap, so he is going to continue to fall behind here in that P6 position. He does have the Racing Bulls of the GOAT trying to catch up, nearly a second back at this point as they make their way down into turn 12. He is now within a second, and now we got ourselves what appears to be looks like almost a 5-car train here, 5 or 6 car train in the midfield. Castano's going to go through the inside on Mike Gaudio, and he's going to regain a podium position with his teammate. Mercedes looking to go for another great finish. Softy, however, is beginning to catch up to Manry. It was over 12, or actually no, I believe Manry's still pulling away, never mind. It was 5 seconds after pit stop, and Manry is now up to 11.6 and has not looked back since then. And it looks like Prime wants to attempt a daring move around the outside of turn 4. And that was never going to work side by side. So that's going to allow Captain Clapjack to maintain position. But here comes the Racing Bulls. And contact between the Williams and the Racing Bulls. And the GOAT is going to maintain it in that P7 position as they're working their way off the exit of turn 10 heading towards 11. Anime Boy is less than 3/10 off the back of the GOAT. Bonga has decided to retire from the session, but he has done so in pit lane as well. Making our way through turn 14 down the start-finish straight. Who's going to make a move here? Is Prime going to be looking to make a move down into turn 1? Is he close enough? He locks up nearly into the back of the Red Bull in front of him, but he outs his single file through turn 1. And now we're going to jump back into the middle of this train, more like towards the front of it, with Prime, who's attempted some daring moves here in this Grand Prix. Master OG has unfortunately left the session. He also has retired. As we are making our way through Sector 2. Question is, Castana catching his teammate? It appears to be so. Are these Mercedes teammates going to battle it out at the end of the Grand Prix? That's the real question here. Captain Clapjack, what was he doing there? Maybe made a mistake. Allowed Prime to get next to him. Who's going to get the DRS? Is it going to be Captain Clapjack or is it Prime? And it appears to be the Red Bull pulling a genius move there. And here goes LB the GOAT. He's going to get by the Williams as well. Maybe looking down the inside of the Red Bull. Some contact made there. Very tight racing. I would say it was just Robbins racing there through turn 1. Now into turn 2 we go. And it looks like LB the GOAT does jump up into that P6 position. Now Prime's going to have to find another way through. Oh no, Castana, no. I don't see him on. All that work that Castano was putting in to chase down his teammate has washed up the drain now. We are trying to get him back into the lobby. Carrying our way through Sector 2 here. These folks are starting to catch up to Castana. So we are working on trying to get him back into the lobby here. See now if he is on. There he is. So Castana has rejoined, but is he going to be able to take control of his car is the question. 1. And 2, is he going to be able to get in control of his car here before Captain Clapjack catches up in that P5 position? But LB the Goat is going to challenge him through the inside into turn 1. We're still side by side off the exit. I'm not seeing Castana back in control, and now he is. So Castana is back in control of that Mercedes. However, LB the Goat does catch up with a no! Castana gets booted immediately. Not exactly sure what happened to the Mercedes. Oh. That's very unfortunate for Castana. Lost a lot of positions. He is going to do a PC reboot. But we are going to touch base on our race leaders once again. Big Manny is gone an absolute tear today at the Hungary. He is 22 seconds clear of the points leader. Stopsy. Then he's got Mike Gaudio in P3. I'll be the GOAT in 4th. Captain Clapjack in 5th. Prime in 6th. Gecko 7th. Anime 8th. Raptor Knight. Castana, who we're trying to get back into the session, is having a great Grand Prix. Dropped all the way down to 10th. And Mansion Sim has retired from the session and appears to be on circuit. Not good. No. Not allowed. No. You can't do that. No. I don't like seeing stuff like that. Don't do that, people. Meanwhile, Manry so far checked out out front. He could probably do another pit stop before the end of this Grand Prix and still be out front. What is up, Silos? How we doing? We're just chilling. Having a great night. Feel sick as a dog for some odd reason. As we're now coming through Sector 1 on Big Manny. Manson Sim has left the session. Captain Clapjack, is he going to be able to make a move on LB the GOAT in front? And it looks like they're both pretty low on ERS, so not very efficient there. Anime, however, is going to be side by side with the Aston Martin on the inside. Squeezed to the outside, but is able to keep it under control. And now they're making their way through turn 2. And now we're working our way through Sector 2 once again. Is Castana going to be able to jump in and hopefully close up to the gap with some of these folks here? And maybe get some good points Otherwise, he's going to be looking at a 1-point result. Mannery is cooking. Yep. Mannery's doing more than cooking tonight. He's taking them to school. He's showing them what it's like to be at Chef Mannery School. And that's what he's doing tonight here at Hungary. Saucy's still in that P2 position. Mannery went a medium hards, but he went like 20 laps on the mediums. Yeah, Mannery has had a fantastic Grand Prix. Prime still fighting, but no! And Captain was having a great Grand Prix, has wrecked out off the exit of turn 4, and that isn't going to bring out a safety car. Mannery is far enough along ahead. To do some pit stop training, Mannery. So you're 28 seconds ahead, Mannery. You can do some pit stop training and go for a new fast lap. If you wanted, bring us the action, and Prime is around. That is Mike Gaudio. That is around off the exit of turn 14. Yeah, it's a pretty big lead, Mannery. He has just put on a masterclass here. Saucy, I don't know what Saucy's gonna do here. Saucy's gonna have to find some pace. Castano wants another invite. Coming down to the end of the Grand Prix. Alright, Prime does get by Gaudio. Mike is struggling, missing an unplate on that Haas here as he's working his way down the final lap. Gecko's now up to that rear diffuser of Mike, and he's going to go around the outside. Clapjack got caught on the curb in turn 4, and it propelled him into the wall. Clapjack has left the session. Not exactly sure if that was intentional. Oh yeah, it is. Sorry, he crashed. Me being tired, I've been up since 4. Mike died in the third lane, looking to get off of the white wall tires in his front lane as well. Anime is going to try down the inside of the Aston Martin. Chooses not to. Gonna open up the DRS flap off the exit though. And it looks like the Aston Martin got a much better run, sitting up in this P6 position, just kind of picking his way through the field patiently. Mike still not out of pit lane. Castana back in his car. So now he's got 4 seconds to make up if he wants to catch up to the Ferrari in front of him. Anime now making his way through sector 2. Here on the rear diffuser of the Aston Martin. So there's a strong chance Big Mannery can lap up to potentially P10. That's crazy. Not much really going on. throughout the field, but let's just say Satsi is here. Manry's here. Manry really needs some pit stop training. And it looks like Manry is up to almost 32 seconds onto the back of a lap car. Anime still trying to put the work on Raptor in front for that P6 position on track. Raptor has kept it clean all Grand Prix up to this point. Mike Gaudio goes for fastest lap and he takes it away from Big Manry. So the question is, what is Manry's response going to be? As we can tell, Deco is actually starting to catch up to his teammate here. Anime is still fighting with Raptor here in P6 as they're making their way into turn 14. You got both Williams here sitting inside the top 5, so good result for the both of them. Raptor, however, is trying to stay within the time penalty of Deco and Yo Prime. Actually, he's well within that range already, as they both got 6 seconds in penalties. We are on the penultimate lap, and was I not wrong? A free pit stop from your race leader, who is now full on battery on a set of red wall tires, is going to be looking to go for fastest lap here of the Grand Prix as he makes his way through Sector 1 into Sector 2. And, yeah, we will see how well this goes down. Deco does get by his teammate of Prime. Raptor still closing up to the back of him little by little. Gonna defend off Anime Boy. Manry's about to do a qualifying high lap here. Makes his way off the exit of the penultimate corner. Now through turn 14, looking up to start for the straight, opens up that DRS flap, making a run to begin the final lap here at the Hungary. Down into turn 1 we go, all the way into what appears to be third gear, up through the gear, DRS flap not wide open because he doesn't have it open here, in through turn 2, and he is going to try and carry as much speed as he can up the hill into turn 4, as he makes his way through the right-hander of turn 3. Here we go, through the left-hander here, purple sector 1. Saw the car step out just a little bit there, and it appears everybody is going to hold on to position down into turn 1. further back on the grid. But in the meantime, Manry making his way through Sector 2 for the final time here on the final lap through turn 11 across Sector 2, split purple down into turn 12. Manry appears to be on a flyer to take back the fastest lap of the evening as he's rounding the penultimate corner for the final time into turn 14. He's got the start-finish line right in front of him, and he's going to come across for the victory here for the Ferrari team with the fastest lap as well. So the extra point. Sotsi is going to come home in that Mercedes 20 seconds behind the Ferrari in front. But the Ferrari did pit and get a new set of soft red wall tires because he had a 32-second gap. With a free stop, takes the extra point. LB the GOAT comes home in third, Gecko in fourth, Raptor in fifth. He is potentially going to jump up into fourth, indeed he does. Anime Boy in sixth, Prime coming across the line. He will finish in seventh. Castana, where does he come? Home in seventh, drops Prime to eighth. Mike does come home with some points, like Mir or not, will also come home with some points, and that will round out your night for the evening here in Tier 1 of High Point Racing. In the meantime, next Tuesday night, August 27th, Tier 1 will be for round 10 at the Spa-Francorchamps, and then Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, tune in here on High Point Racing TV as Tier 2 will be taking on the Spa-Francorchamps. In the meantime, I am the Johnny Damon. It's been a pleasure commentating for you all tonight. One last look here through the final finishing order. Boom, all the way down to P15. Congratulations to you top 3 finishers. Hope you all have a great night, and I will talk to you all next week.